Hello everyone. Today in World of Stuff we have something very interesting and then a little strange. A G1 in the time of Beast Wars with Machine Wars, Soundwave. Soundwave here was the repaint of the European exclusive mold Stalker, who was part of the Decepticon Predators, who were mostly aircraft. One other such repaint from Machine Wars from these molds was Starscream. A rather large Starscream at that. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Now, some of you are wondering, what exactly was Machine Wars? Well, pre-Beast Wars era, and post-G2, apparently somebody decided that people might not like animals as transformers. A sentiment which was somewhat shared later on, but not nearly as much as the popularity of Beast Wars became. Nevertheless, they decided to try something. Reusing some of the European molds as some of the more popular character names, and introducing some Automorph figures, very small ones. We'll get into that in a little bit. Needless to say, ended up a store exclusive from KB Toys, which is now defunct. Machine Wars is primarily forgotten, and Beast Wars is lauded as the best series ever, at least as far as the series go. Soundwave here does have something of an attack mode, not very much. You just push this up, and he looks like he's about to fire his missile. Weird, but hey, it's something. A note on the accessories for Soundwave. On Stalker, he had additionally a gun and several missile pods right here where these pigs are. These are absent on the American Soundwave. Although, if you have any of the automorphing jets or any of the other automorphing figures from Machine Wars or even Beast Wars 2nd, or perhaps even RID, you can add his weapons and their weapons and peg them on him. Simple, a little silly, but it's a nice little bit of cross-compatibility. Not as nearly as what the Predators had, but you work with what you got, right? Speaking of stripped-down gimmicks, let's have a look at the missile here, shall we? Now, if you look through this port right here, and you raise up this little blue tab, it has a little screen on it. Now, on the Predator's Stalker, that doesn't sound good, does it? Anyway, on Stalker, he had a little bit of background scenery that you could see on this little blue screen, and you could see through here. Unfortunately, that was not included in the Soundwave version, which is very unfortunate, because if you had any of the other Predator jets, especially the smaller ones, they had little fake images of the characters on their little imagers. You could combine these two together to get a little action scene, give you something to really shoot at. Unfortunately, with the gimmicks stripped down for Soundwave, it just kind of looks a little silly. I would like to thank the Collector 75 for pointing out what exactly this missile does, because it makes a lot more sense when you see the European version, and a lot less sense when you have the American one. Another major difference is that due to the recoloring, Soundwave is a lot more muted than the counterpart of Stalker, because Stalker, Skyquake, the other jets, they were brightly colored. People complain about the neon from G2. They had nothing on these figures. I mean, Stalker had a gold chest. For no good reason. There was gold, there was blue, electric blue, there was pink. Next time somebody says anything about the G2 colors, I would advise them to take a look at those molds and realize just how silly they sound. Getting back on track, in 2004 this mold was released again as Soundwave with the same gimmicks and the same accessory count. The colors themselves were a lot more realistic, so you make that up what you will. So you got your choice of 3 molds. 2 of which you got for statesides for a relatively decent price, and the original Stalker mold, which, well, good luck if you try to go for that one. Anyway, let's move on to transformation, shall we? First we will remove the missile and the radar dish, and then we will fold the back treads up somewhat till they're right about there. Fold out the hands. This is a lot easier, trust me, because otherwise you'll get things stuck on these and you'll probably break something, which nobody wants. Anyway, we will fold out these Flaps right here. Turn around the hips. What will be the hips, and fold these legs down. We will then fold up this part like that. Bring down, and then dig out his head. Alrighty. Like I said, G1 simplicity, but very effective. And here we have Machine Wars Soundwave in robot mode. Now to put his accessories back, you get your choice of these two holes right here for the missile and the radar dish. As for additional accessories, like I said, he doesn't come with either those little missile pods or his gun, but again, if you have these little guns from any of the aforementioned lines, he can have something of a gun. Little strange having such a small gun in his big hand, but it's better than nothing. Now, one of the problems that has always plagued Transformers is scale. Masterpiece line seems to be addressing it as best they can, but we'll see how that works out. But a particularly pronounced problem was with the Machine Wars line. To best examine this point, here we have R.I.D. Windshear, who is a recolor of the Megatron mold from Machine Wars. This mold only comes to Soundwave's waist. Take into consideration the Starscream, who was remodeled from Skyquake. Soundwave's missile only comes up to Starscream's waist. Think about that. Aside from having such a massive, treacherous second-in-command, who would take orders from a dinky little Megatron like this anyway, aside from Soundwave? As for articulation, it is, well, G1 basic. Head does not rotate, arm goes a little bit forward, elbow does very little of that, but that's because of transformation. Nice waist rotation, and you can kind of get a little bit of a knee joint there, but you can't really stand. Simple, but if you're looking for a nice brick, here you go. Well, I'd say that about covers it for this review. I don't really have any real jokes or sketches here, so I am the Deceptiwolf. This has been Machine Wars Soundwave, and this is a Sparkly Pony. Good night, everyone.